It's good to know that you are still there. In case you're just joining us, you've not missed anything, okay? Because right now we have our first guest in the house. And guess what? You know, they say charity begins at home. So anything you want to do, anything you want to practice, what happens? You need to start from home. And that's why we're talking about the impact of domestic tourism on our economy. And we have someone who is in the better position to talk to us about this. We have Adobe Nweze. She is the Assistant Director, FCT Tourism Department, Social Development Secretariat. Please join us as we welcome her. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, we are talking about the impact of domestic tourism on our economy. Like I said, charity begins at home. So, first, what do we mean by domestic tourism?
Thank you. Domestic tourism. Tourism generally is life, and tourism affects every aspect of life. Domestic tourism on its own is like local tourism. It is the act of people moving from one point to the other. Like you traveling in your country from one point of where you are to another destination in search of leisure, recreation, and maybe business.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, we know that when people move, definitely they will have activities running. So, how would you say this contribute to job creation and also to the growth of our economy?
Yes, when you move as a tourist, naturally your new place is not your home. So you will need to lodge in a hotel.
Okay.
You will need where to stay. You will need food. And as you get there, maybe there are important places you want to visit there. Let me take, for instance, I go to Yoruba land, maybe I'll hear of Osun Osogbo, and I want to visit that place. When you get there, you want to buy snacks, you want to snap, you want to refresh yourself. And people have to do that, especially the villagers or people living around. And by the time they're doing that, they're creating jobs for themselves.
Yeah.
They're providing those things that you need and you're exchanging with your money for them. So with their own money, they can take care of their other needs.
Okay.
And with those things you buy or those pictures you're taking and sending out, you're also helping to propagate and disseminate information.
Okay, you know when people move from one place to another, especially when it comes to do with culture and cultural heritage, people move from one state to another. A lot of things will learn. So, how do you think this helps us to preserve our cultural heritage?
Okay, in that movement, by that expenditure, those money you spend, wise people or wise government will use it to maintain that place. And when the place is conserved, when it's preserved, when it's maintained, then you're likely to see more people come to visit the place. But when the place is not maintained, it dilapidates. Nobody comes.
Let's look at challenges. We know there are a lot of challenges, I would say, because a lot of people say, okay, if I have to travel from here to, for instance, I'm going to Obudu, in Calabar, am I safe? How safe? Okay, are there people who are there to make sure that as a visitor, as a tourist, that I'm protected? So I know that's one of the challenges, So what are some other challenges that we have there?
The one of the major challenges is this security thing that is a national issue. You understand? So if security is taken care of course, tourists can be anywhere and they would not mind. And then the other challenges are transportation.
Okay.
If their roads are bad, people will not go to where they're going to with ease. And when you're on a road that does not tally with your body condition, or that when you get to where you're going you're sick, you won't go another time, and you discourage other people that want to go. And then the facilities in that environment are poor, like poor accommodation, poor food. Nobody wants to be there. So when we take care of these challenges, we'll encourage tourists to visit our places, and our places will become destinations.
Okay, let's look at public relations.
Okay.
The people there, how friendly, because there are people that you find out that they are just hostile.
Yes.
They don't want to see visitors. So are there things put in place to make sure that other than the tourists don't come in contact with such people, or there are people just assigned to make sure they take them around? Is there anything like that?
Okay, there are tour guides. And aside the tour guides, my director recently, when she was posted to tourism department from arts and culture, one of the first things she did was to raise tourism volunteers.
Okay.
Yes, so if you hear of tourism volunteers, now this is her initiative.
Okay.
Yes, so as to get people who have passion for their country to come and help her do the work of tourism.
Okay.
So fortunately, it's working out because she was able to get somebody in the person of Ambassador Phil Roberts. So
Okay,
Phil
yeah.
Roberts, yes,
We've had him on this show
honestly.
before,
So he now told my director that she should consider it done. And since that day till date, he has not rested in propagating tourism through volunteers.
Yeah,
And the volunteers are really up and doing. They are able, they are available at all times. Once you call them, they are ready to help and do the work. So what we have, and what she's doing recently, is that he's moving from one state to the other, encouraging volunteerism. So if you're looking to have volunteers in your place, these volunteers, he organizes training too. So these are one of the things that we are really enjoying, because even this training, most of the time they are free. Maybe you once in a while can give them honorarium and all that. So you don't call these people to come and take training. So in that way, you teach them how to attend to visitors.
Okay, we'll look at the role of the government and private sectors in this tourism sector, but we'll take a break. Okay, let's go on this break, and when we come back, we'll continue the conversation. Please don't go anywhere. Welcome back. Yes, if you just joined us on this conversation, you are not too late. We're talking about the impact of domestic tourism on our economy, and we still have our guests throwing more light on this topic. So, let's look at the role of the government and private sectors in this, because we find out that I don't know how to put it, because I believe that when private sectors support the government, we will be able to achieve a lot. So, from your own point of view, what do you think the private sectors and also the government?
The private sectors, on their own paths, they're trying, and I want to believe that if they work together with government, everything will go well. They cannot work in opposite direction with government. If government say that this should be like this, they should be able to stand by it.
Okay.
They shouldn't seek their own ways. They shouldn't think that it should go their own way, because many a times when government give policies, it's because they have considered a lot of things, and they come from both local and international angle. So, but in this country, you find that people like to do things their own way.
Okay.
So with that, government will come against them. When government comes, they'll say, they are doing this, and government is not allowing them. Government is fighting them. No, it's true that government is not fighting them. Government wants them to do it right.
Okay. Okay. I know that we have a lot of tourism sites in Nigeria. Can you just give us some of those sites? Mention some
Okay,
of
like
them.
in Abuja here, we have the Pape Crush Rocks.
Okay, where is that?
Near Pape.
Okay,
In fact, it's in Pape.
Okay.
Very fine place, but what it needs is development. We have Karishi Waterfalls. Very beautiful environment. And calm, very serene, like the type that Westerners would love.
Oh.
Yes. And we have, of course, we have the Millennium Park.
Okay.
We have the children's park.
I've heard people say Jabi.
Jabi Dam.
Okay. Okay.
We have, Abuja naturally is a tourist destination. You understand? Because of these savanna grasslands.
Okay.
Yes, tall trees. These things are, when you think of nature, Abuja is the home of nature.
So you're indirectly saying to us that charity, they say that what you're looking for inside Sokoto, that is right there in your Sokoto.
Yes, Abuja alone is a tourist delight. The settings.
Okay.
Good. So that's why many ministers have come and they try to maintain the original plan
But what about publicity? We are not hearing of. Don't you think there should be publicity?
Yes,
Especially people who look out for places to go to
yes, there should
weekends with
be.
their families. There
Exactly.
should be publicity,
That
maybe
is
from
that
your
is
end.
yeah, there should be publicity from both government and private sector. There
Okay.
should be jingles
Mm-hmm.
announcing to the
Yes.
public, both locally in Facebook, in radios,
Videos of those areas you're talking about and all
sent
that.
to
Yeah.
be sent out.
Yeah.
But I think we are working on that.
Okay.
I know in government, you don't do things on your own. You have to write, get approval, and then you have to be directed to do certain things before you go ahead and do them.
Okay.
You know, and you also need funds.
Okay.
That's why I'm thinking that, or we are thinking that the private sectors that are into tourism should really own up and be ready to do tourism. You know,
Okay.
in that way, they don't really need to look at government, but their cooperation with government will be that if this thing is good, then let's go ahead. If we say publicity is good for our tourism, the private sector can go ahead with publicity. The only thing they need to do is to get it worked out, and then come to government, decide with government, and government vets.
But don't you think government should start first so that others will follow?
No, government would, but what I'm saying that in paucity of funds,
Okay.
whereby we don't have enough to carry it out now,
Okay.
you know. If you know, like America will say, don't think of what America will do for you, think of what you would do for America. So if you know you have the best interest of your nation at heart and you have the resources, you can go ahead.
I like the fact that we have a lot of places, especially here in Abuja. Do you know some of them? I'm just hearing for the first time.
Yes, sir.
So you see the area of publicity where it comes in, and it's very, very important. And I know that very soon we'll see or hear those places, you know, on radios, on television. Okay.
So
All right.
excuse
Okay.
me, you know why we are dragging feet on the publicity aspect of it is because these places need development.
Okay.
You can't call people into a place
place
where they will not be
oh,
happy. They will hear this, and then when they come, it's not developed. They cannot find people selling things around. They cannot eat. They cannot be comfortable in the environment. So we need investors to come in and help develop these places so that activities will thrive there.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank
So we'll
you.
be speaking with the Assistant Director, FCT Tourism Development Department, you know, in the person of Ada Muezi. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, remember, like she has said, the private sector, the government, you and I want to make sure that this is our country, because I tell you, there's no place like home. This, like I always say, is our Naija. So all hands on deck to make sure that we bring out the best in it. All those places she has mentioned, if you have the money to help to develop, please go ahead. Remember that is your own home too. The program is still Good Morning Abuja. Now we want to take a feature on a workforce that most people look down. Should I use the word look down? Let's see this feature on scam vengeance. We'll be right back. In the bustling city of Abuja, amidst the towering skyscrapers and modern infrastructure, lies a hidden workforce, the scavengers. These unsung heroes play a crucial role in waste management, often overlooked yet vital for the city's cleanliness. These individuals, many of them women and children, face harsh conditions as they sift through mountains of waste. They are exposed to hazardous materials, work long hours under the scorching sun, and often face social stigma. Yet, their contribution to the environment is undeniable. By collecting and sorting recyclable materials, they divert waste from landfills, reducing pollution and conserving resources. They also provide a valuable service to recycling industries, supplying raw materials that would otherwise be lost. However, the work of scavengers is often undervalued and unregulated. They lack basic safety equipment and access to health care, and their working conditions are far from ideal. Unfortunately, there's a darker side of this story. Some individuals hide under the guise of scavenging to engage in criminal activities. They sometimes target valuable items from residents, leading to thefts and property damage. This tarnishes the image of legitimate scavengers who work hard to make a living. It is crucial to differentiate between those who honestly seek to recycle and those who exploit the situation for personal gain. As Abuja continues to grow, it is crucial to acknowledge the contributions of legitimate scavengers while also addressing the issue of those who engage in criminal activities by providing support and regulation for the former and strengthening security measures for the latter. We can create a more sustainable and secure environment for all. Remember, not all scavengers are the same. Let's work together to support those who contribute positively to our city while addressing the concerns of those who exploit the situation for criminal purposes. Welcome back. That's the feature on scavenging. Their contribution, the scavengers, their contribution to our economy, to our environment, can never be overlooked. Okay, so you can see all they do, in as much as we have the bad eggs amongst them, but we still have the ones who are doing it legitimately. Now we want to talk about the economic value of waste. Okay, like saying from waste to wealth. And we have someone in the house who is, I call him a recycler, someone who makes sure that all that the scavengers pick is put into use. He is the founder of Triple R Recycling. Okay, please join me as I welcome Mr. Abdullahi, Suleiman Eji. I'm right.
You're correct. Thank you very much for having me today.
Thank you so much for pleasure. Joining us.
Thank you very much.
Wow. You are, when we talk about scavenging, or we talk about scavengers, or we talk about people who recycle, they look at those people at the way you're looking, you look so clean, you look as if you are just an office person, but we are seeing it in a corporate way now. Okay, recycling in a corporate way. So, what are those things that when you see them, you know that, look, these ones can be reused, they can be recycled, and you make money from them. So, what are the things, and how do you identify them?
Thank you very much once again for having me. The issue of scavenging in Nigeria has been seriously overlooked at. Many Nigerians see them as horrible people, they see them as criminals, they see them as, gangsters and all of that. But that is not completely true.
Okay.
The role these scavengers play in our economy can never be, overemphasized. They are the key players in the recycling sector. Now, let me give you an instance. Today in Nigeria generates about 32 million tons of plastic waste.
Wow.
32 million tons. So imagine if we don't have these scavengers in place. Where would this waste end up in? They will end up in the landfill.
Okay.
They will end up in the river. They will end up in the ocean, competing with our fishes. Now we'll complain of cancers and causing havoc.
Wow.
There are a lot of diseases out there today, from what we consume. But this is as a result of, this waste generated every day.
Okay.
So, and I believe Nigeria should begin to see, another light, another perspective of these scavengers, because without them, our country would have been, overwhelmed with a lot of waste. And you also asked the question as how do we identify which waste, is recyclable? The recycling sector is a very big area to begin with. There are companies that recycle plastic, some recycle iron, aluminium, organic waste, all kind of materials are usually recycled. In our own company, for instance, we recycle PET bottles, plastic bottles.
Okay.
So, and not all kind of plastic bottles, because for us to know which one is recyclable, it has to be clean, the clean plastic bottles, because they can be shredded, grinded to form new products. But if they are very, very dirty, it will be difficult to grind them into finished products to produce new material.
Okay,
yes.
So you look out for, but since considering where they are picked from, do you still have to wash them?
Yes. Because as you said, some of these materials are picked from all kind of places, gutters, hospitals and the likes. So we do collect all, you understand? So, but we keep them separately. So there's special mechanism in place to ensure that those ones that are very, very dirty are, properly taken care of so that they can be reused. Yeah, so we collect all.
Okay, so for you, how do you think scavengers impact our economy and also our environment?
Yes, scavengers, just as I've said earlier, their impact in our economy should never be looked down on. They are the secondary players when it comes to our economy, especially in the recycling sector.
Okay.
Their impact, supersedes what we think of. Number one, most of our industries today, they spend billions and millions of naira trying to produce new materials from scratch. But with the help of these scavengers, we can now recycle these materials.
Yeah.
Number one, we're already saving energy. When you recycle a product, you're saving energy.
Okay. And
Right?
also keeping our environment
You're
clean.
keeping our environment clean. You're saving one or two fishes from dying. You're saving some children from getting malaria and typhoid.
Okay.
You're making our
Creating jobs.
You're creating jobs for the scavengers, for the recycling companies and its workers, for the economy, and you're injecting billions into the Nigerian economy. So these are one of their impacts we don't look at.
Okay, so what's your take on the bad actors in the scavenging field?
And as you know, there is no sector in this country or in this world today where you don't have bad actors. I won't lie to you. Just that the way we perceive these scavengers, to me, is totally wrong. There are bad eggs among them. You can't do without
Just
that.
like we have in other fields.
Just as you have in other fields. If you go to some organizations today, there are criminals there too, operating. There are criminals operating on suits. Some operating with biros and they are thieves. This ones is because they can't hide theirs, and we've already seen them as the devils in So for the bad eggs, we're not in support of their activities. All right. So I believe the government can do something. Okay. We can identify legitimate scavengers. We can do that. When we identify the legitimate ones, let's get their database. The government should recognize them. Okay. They should be trained. When we have this in place, it will be very easy for us to identify the bad ones who are hiding.
To deal with them.
Yes, who are hiding behind scavenging to cause havoc in our country.
For someone who wants to go into the business, what would you say to such a person? Most people believe that it's a dirty business. So for someone who wants to go into this mess, maybe I want to go into it, what would you say to the person as well?
You are always welcome. Waste can never get finished. It's an unending business opportunity.
Wow.
And I welcome anyone who is having interest in this business to come in, because you're already seeing billions in your front. If you can annex the real potential in the recycling sector, I believe you should come in.
Okay.
You will never get tired of it, because waste don't get finished. The waste keep coming.
They keep coming.
Yes.
Okay.
So yours is just to annex them and generate resources from them.
Wow.
And I believe you won't regret coming in.
Wow, thank you so much. So you're indirectly saying I should please come in.
Yeah, there's no problem. We'll welcome you all the
Yes,
time.
thank you so much. So we have been talking about waste to wealth, the economic value of waste. And he has just, see how he's smiling. He's indirectly telling you, look, please come. It's a lucrative business. And they said there's room. There are wastes. You always have waste to pick from. All right, thank you so much. So he is the founder of Triple R Recycling. Okay, Mr. Abdurrahman. Abdullah Suleiman. All right, thank you so much. So please, if you're looking for a business to go into, remember this is still January. The year is still very young. Please, you can go into recycling. You can even go into scavenging. Yes, you can organize young guys, in a corporate way, and you can do it. So please, what are you waiting for? So go and then think about it and then make money. And when you make money, please, please don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back. In case you're just joining us, this is still Good Morning Abuja on the NT Channel 5, the Unity Station. Like they say, living your purpose or discovering your purpose is something that is very, very important. Otherwise, you won't know where you're heading to and you won't even know what you are living for. Today, we want to discuss discovering and living your purpose, and we'll have someone who is ready to talk to us. Why? She is a relationship coach. She is a trauma counselor. She is what will I say? She's just everything that you need to know about discovering your purpose in life. She is ready because she's equipped. Please join me as a welcome Ochegbe Oleju Kate.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
was very conscious of that name. Very, very conscious so that I won't miss it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Too.
Wow. Should I use the word you are small but mighty?
Sorry, I get that a lot.
Oh, you hear that a lot.
Yeah, I get that.
Wow, wow. So you are also a
Identity coach.
purpose identity coach. I was trying to remember that. Purpose identity coach.
Yes, ma'am.
So what does that mean first?
Purpose identity coach helps you to discover the you in you that you don't know exists. That's
Wow.
all about that.
The you in you that you don't know that exists.
Yes.
That's the best in you. Should I put that word? Should I use
Yes,
that word,
the
the best
best
in
in
you?
you, yeah.
Okay, so that's what you do. You
Yeah.
help people to discover who they are.
Yeah.
That person that they don't know they are
Yeah.
is what.
Yes,
Wow.
we bring it out.
A lot of people believe that once you have everything going for you, you have a good job, you have money, that you have discovered your purpose in life. So, what's your take?
Purpose differs. Purpose transcends just your financial reward.
Okay.
That is why it has to do with the reason you exist. There's a reason beyond white collar job. There's a reason why you exist.
Okay.
And I believe that we are all created with something.
Okay.
You came just like I'll give an illustration of how people do those candle night and carol. When you light your candle, you help others light.
Okay.
That is what your purpose help you do. When you are lighted to light others.
Okay.
You are lighted. So when you discover that you begin to live. My spirit will say, you are not living unless you have discovered purpose. And I discovered that people find it difficult to discover themselves. But your gifts actually are clues to discover who you are.
So indirectly saying you become the beacon of light.
Yeah.
That others.
Yes.
You're like that light on the mountain top that gives light to others.
Yes.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Wow. So that's your purpose in life.
Yeah.
Okay.
And purpose connects deeply with who you are, not white collar job, who you are, your true self. That's where identity comes to play.
Okay.
Because when you talk about identity, your identity is you. We want to see, when they say they want to meet Kate, is you we want to meet. Who are you? Some people don't know how to answer that question. When you ask somebody, who are you? You hear somebody say, I'm this one, I'm that. No. Who are you? That question is asking, what were you created to be? I know you are a doctor. I know you may be a lawyer, but the moment you discover you will do things better. In that your field, you begin to do things better.
Okay, so how do one discover who he or she is supposed to be? Okay. What are what will I call it, the steps?
Okay. I will just use myself as an example. Like I said, when I was saying this from the beginning, I said your gifts are clues. You discover that there are some things you don't want it to happen. When that thing happens, you become unrest. You say, there has to be a change here. There has to be, I don't know, why is this thing working like this? There has to be, that place you have unrest for, that thing you have unrest when you see it being done wrong. That is an identifier that you have something to fulfill there. You have something to do there. Some people don't know. Like me, I discovered that while growing up, I hate seeing men beat their wife. Okay. It gives me so much unrest, and I hate seeing teenage pregnancy, all of those things. I feel that I need to talk to these girls. These girls don't understand this. So I started discovering that, okay, could mean that God wants me to fix something here. We all have a calling. Yes.
Okay, because the moment you mention
calling.
Yes,
no, people narrow it to be religious. It's not religious.
Okay.
All of those people that invented things that we are enjoying today, the electricity, all of the things, that is their calling. So calling is beyond the pulpit. It's not everybody that will be on the pulpit. To do with religion. So we are all called. So the way to identify your purpose or discover that thing in you is that area you feel that, oh, when something happens, you need that, okay, you know that there's something that has to be done better. You know. That's an identifier that you have something to do there. That could be God showing you that this is what I want you to do in life.
Okay, so let's look at the roadblocks.
Okay.
Roadblocks, challenges one faces when one is trying to, to discover one's purpose in life. For you? What are those roadblocks?
One is lack of clarity. Yes. So many people are too distracted. Like they are distracted that they can't focus. You can't see.
So they don't know what they want.
Yes, lack of clarity. You need to know you, like I said about identity, because identity helps you. Then you focus. And the second thing I think people do is that they compare themselves
with others.
Yes. That one will hinder you. And the inability to celebrate little win. Do not look down on the days of little
beginnings. Yeah.
Those things build you to who you are. But some of us, when we look at, oh, Mr. A is doing better than me. Oh, Mr. D's have millions of followers. Oh, Mr. C, she have written so many books. Oh my God, where am I? Who I be? No, don't use such words. I tell people, don't limit yourself. Stop limiting yourself. I'm not telling you to go and have pride and raise shoulder, but people limit themselves. You limit yourself. There's more you can do.
Wow.
So what I'm saying, I'm doing it.
Wow.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
This is good to hear all this. Yeah. Now let's look at steps. Steps individuals can take in exploring who they are. Okay. Or, like you said, their purpose in life. Okay. So what are these steps?
Okay, number one is resilience. Resilience.
Never giving up spirit.
When people look at me, my mom looked at me yesterday and said, Kate, you never give up. I see that when you want to do a thing, you see to it to the end. Learn how to see to a thing to the end. Don't give up. When you say, I'm starting this thing, I have a target. I told myself 3 of my books will come out in May. And in that May, even before that May, it will be out.
Wow.
I have given myself to it. Even if it will take the sleepless night, yes, I will do it. Learn how to start something and finish it. It's not enough that you have announced that I'm going to start that thing. But one of the things, let me tell you what you will do. If you want to achieve something, announce it. Like now, if I say I'm launching my book and I put it out there, if I have my social media platform, I put it out there, I will insist on myself. Sometimes announce it.
Because you've already
announced it. It will push you, yes. It will push you to want to do it. It's a good side. Some people use it the bad way, but I'm telling you the way to
Some will say, don't announce it. If you announce it, it will never happen.
Yes, it will happen. It's because you think you are small. You think you are small, you are limiting yourself. But once you announce it, you can do it. So learn to start something and finish it. Then I will talk about deeper connection. Live intentionally. Don't live life intentionally. Don't live life anyhow. I am intentional about my time.
Intentional about whatever you do, whatever steps you take in life.
Yes, you must be intentional.
Okay.
You must be intentional about it. I used to tell people walking around me, I would say, insist. I was telling my PA that day, I said, you will insist. You will insist on this. We have started this thing and we are going to be intentional about yourself. It's not everything that works. Everything will not work for a purposeful person. Everything. Anybody cannot just come into your space as a purposeful person. Because when you are intentional, people take you to feel that this one has pride. It's not pride. It's because you are seeing what they can't see.
And
yes,
like you are like a go-getter.
Yes.
And you must not miss your target.
You must not miss your target.
Okay.
Yes. And I will talk about aligning your daily activities. This is why I tell people to get a priority list. Yes, get a priority list. Know what you do. If anything comes into my time, that means that thing must be worth it. Yes, if anything must take the space, it must be worth it, and it will help me acquire something. I must gain something a day. A day doesn't pass without me gaining something. I'm not talking about money. People first. All the thing you think is money. This is purpose we are talking about. And Purpose makes you impact people, and impact, money cannot buy impact.
Mm.
Money cannot buy it. Money cannot buy impact. So just make sure you have a priority list. Plan your life. Map it out. When you start planning your life, you see that you start gaining grounds.
Okay, talking
Yes.
about aligning,
Yeah.
how can living a life aligning, aligning with your purpose, how can this lead to happiness, fulfillment? How can this happen?
Okay. When it is your purpose, there's that joy, genuine joy that comes from it. You understand? When it is your purpose, one of the ways you will know that you are not in alignment is that you don't have that inner peace when you do it.
Mm.
But when it is your purpose, even when you are stressed, there's that inner
There's
joy.
joy.
Kai, that I've done something today. Yes, I've hit the target. So when it is your purpose, definitely you feel that joy despite the stress or whatever you are going through. There's that inner joy that you say, I am fulfilled.
Mm.
Despite all, I used to share my personal experience with people wherever I go. There are challenges I faced in life, but my purpose brings that joy. I'll say I have something to live for.
Mm.
That is why I'm living.
Okay.
Yes. So if you are truly in alignment with your purpose, it will bring that joy. You'll be when you are doing those things. In doing those things, it's not sitting at home. In doing those things, you'll find fulfillment.
Okay, for someone who has I don't want to use the word gone the wrong way or something, someone who has gone outside his or her purpose for life, purpose in life.
Yes.
What would you say to such a person? No, let me just, okay, what would you say to such a person?
Okay. I would like that person to change a cycle of friends first. Change the people around you.
Okay.
You need people that are focused to be around you. And I want you to know that you are not the first person that has derailed before.
Derailed,
It's
yeah.
okay. It's okay. That builds you. That's what you don't know. Some of us, we rely on the failure. We say, okay, we are failed. You are not a failure. You are permitted to fail on your journey of purpose, but you are permitted to make mistakes. It's permitted. There are days you will feel discouraged. I'm speaking to you now. There are days I feel discouraged. There are days I don't feel like doing it. So if I can feel that way, you don't need to feel bad. You just need to get up, come back, come back, come back.
Wow.
You still have something to do.
Thank
There's
you
still
so
something you
much.
can do. Yes.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much. There is still something you
You
can
can
do.
do, yeah.
It reminds me of a saying that success is like what would I call it? A ladder.
Yeah.
Or maybe block, your name blocks. He said, maybe you've gotten to step 5 and suddenly you fall. You don't remain there. You go down and start afresh and keep, And someone once said that, imagine you're going on the road and you just fall into maybe a mud. Will you remain there? No, you get up, pick up water, wash your body, and then you move on. So that's it. That's what she's saying to you. It doesn't matter where you are right now. It doesn't matter the mistakes you have made. But remember that every time you wake up is your money. So when you wake up, maybe after 20 years, you find out, oh, I've been doing something wrong. You can still start afresh. Thank you so much, Kate. Okay, we can't thank you enough because I know that you have just dished out some, wonderful information, impactful information that we know that we all have picked one or two things from. Thank you so much. I want to say to you that the sky is just your starting point. I like the, I like the boldness, I like, the comportment and all that and all that. Thank you so much, Kate. We look forward to having you come to talk to us again, all right?
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, we've been talking to Ochibe Oleju Kate. Yes, she is a relationship coach. She is a trauma. We need to talk about that trauma cancer. We still need to talk about it. And then she's also a purpose identity coach. Yes, she's telling you about your purpose in life. Whether you missed it or you have not even started, you don't need to worry. There's still time. All right, please don't go anywhere because right now we are going into the kitchen in our cooking segment. Let's go there and we'll be right back.